The playoffs are here, and you can predict the action all the way to the finals with FanDuel Predicts. Predict the spread, the total points, and even the game-winning moments that make the playoffs. Sign up and get a $25 bonus with FanDuel Predicts.
Offered by FanDuel Prediction Markets, LLC, a registered futures commission merchant. 18-plus bonus is non-withdrawable and expires 7 days after receipt. Trading derivatives involves significant risk and may not be suitable for all investors. Manage your activity with their consumer protection tools. Restrictions apply. See terms at FanDuel.com/predicts/bonus-offer-terms.
Excuse me! Taxi!
Come on, what are you doing? This is the 77 WABC minicast.
Democrat elected officials, my God. And you want to know why I switched years ago and became a Republican? Democrats can't even get the sports information correct. Dominic Carter here with you on this Thursday, 800-848-9222. The phone lines are open right now. So the governor of New York State, Governor Kathy Hochul, up for re-election this year. She attempted to throw shade at President Trump. She attempted to throw some shade at the president after the president stated that he's a New York Knicks fan and plans on attending one of the championship games. So what does Governor Hochul do? She says for the president to name the team from the last championship year, but she gives the wrong year. She gives the year that they went to the finals, but they lost in the finals. So she attempted to throw shade, and she can't even get the date right. Another issue I'm dealing with this hour, among many, and I've tried to punt on this one, but it is ridiculous. House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries has joined the NAACP and the Congressional Black Caucus, get this, in urging African-American athletes to boycott the SEC. One of the biggest sports conferences in the country, in the world. If you're good enough to play in the SEC, chances are you got a shot at the pros. And Hakeem Jeffries wants African-American athletes to boycott. Why? Because of the redistricting issues. So, Mr. Jeffries, let me make sure I got this right. You do what's best for your career. You graduated from SUNY Binghamton. I graduated from SUNY Cortland. You do what's best for your career. You're in line to become Speaker of the House. But you want these athletes that can make millions in college now, and these athletes that have one shot coming from the hood to go to the pros, and you want them to say, no, I'm not doing it over the issue of redistricting. I don't think so. Delaney Hall, I'll have more on this throughout the hour. Newark, New Jersey, a truck driver went off on these anti-ICE nut protesters after they blocked him from doing his job as the Antifa thugs are battling agents. The goons are chanting, grab your guns and kill yourself. That's just wonderful. So, dramatic video shows a truck driver going berserk at anti-ICE protesters camped outside that detention center. Why don't you go get a life? How about that? Most of those protesters out there are not real. The other ones that are real are completely delusional. Listen to President Trump here on those protesters in Newark, New Jersey.
What's your message to the New Jersey leaders pushing back against ICE operations at Delaney Hall?
About ICE?
Yes.
Or about NICE, as I call it, NICE. The NICE facility. I'd love to change the name, call it NICE. They do a great job, and it's all paid for protesters. You can see by the signs. The signs are all made by the same beautiful factory. It's a printing plant. In fact, I'm thinking about using it. They do such a nice job. These aren't protesters. These people are fake. They're all paid for. And I will tell you, Tom Homan and that whole group, and now Mark Wayne is so incredible. Mark Wayne, do you want to just respond to that? Sure. We run the finest facilities anywhere in the world of their type. But we have some horrible killers. We have killers. We have guys that have murdered numerous people in there. And these are the people they're trying to protect. There's nobody that runs a facility like we do.
Thank you, Mr. President, for calling a spade a spade. You have murderers in there, and their baby mamas are outside going, no, 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 let them out. No justice, no peace. Why don't you go in the detention center with them? Better yet, why don't you get out of the country? How about that? 800-848-9222. Oh, Democrats, stuck on stupid. The elected officials. There's no other way to put it, folks. Governor Hochul tries to show shade on President Trump because President Trump announced that he, in all likelihood, is headed to a Knicks championship game. It's not the first time he's been to a Knicks game. There are photos of him when he was there quite a bit. So what does Governor Hochul do? She tries to do the game of one-upsmanship and fails terribly. Listen to what she has to say. You're going to hear it twice. It's so nice, you're going to hear it twice, where she says, tell him to name the team, but she even has the wrong year by about 20 years. Listen to this.
I asked him to name the starting lineup from 1993 championship team and see how he does.
Boy, what a team. They win all their games. They have some great players. I think I'll be going to one of the games. I was invited by numerous people and Jim. And I think I'll be going.
Governor, what do you make of President Trump wanting to come to the NBA Finals? If the Knicks are basically playing, do you think that you would go and you would also sit?
No.
What do you think of him saying he's a lifelong Knicks fan? I think that's how the Times reported it.
I asked him to name the starting lineup from 1993 championship team and see how he does. If the president wants to come to a championship game in New York City, I suspect he'll also be at World Cup events. I mean, he comes to the fights. It doesn't affect what I do. My job is to keep New Yorkers safe and celebrate the extraordinary teams that we are blessed to have in here in the city of New York. So I don't see any problem with him coming.
So Governor Hochul says, name the starting five of the 1993 New York Knicks championship team. Governor, they didn't win in 93, okay? The last time the Knicks won the NBA championship was the late 70s. Get your facts right. But while you're doing that, Governor, why don't you pick up the phone and call Hakeem Jeffries and tell him to do the same? Imagine this, folks. Just imagine this. Just imagine this. Think about this for a second. You're a blue chip athlete out the hood. The first in your family to make it. The first in your family to go to college. You've got a shot at going to the NBA, the NFL, Major League Baseball. And Hakeem Jeffries comes along and says, because of redistricting, you ought to boycott and not go to the SEC, Championship League, to show solidarity with the black community. You cannot make this up. Listen to Mr. Jeffries himself.
This is an unprecedented moment featuring an unprecedented attack on black political representation, and therefore it requires an unprecedented response.
That's right.
We are here standing in solidarity with the NAACP and its call for athletes to boycott institutions within the SEC that belong to states that have unleashed these Jim Crow-like racially oppressive tactics, which is unacceptable, unconscionable, and un-American. And we believe that the silence of these institutions is complicity. That's right. And we will not stand for it. With respect to the SCORE Act, our position has been clear. If LSU is for it, we're against it. If the University of Alabama is for it, we're against it. If Ole Miss is for it, we're against it. If the University of South Carolina is for it, we're against it. If the University of Tennessee is for it, we're against it. And if the SEC schools are for it, we are against it. And we will continue to stand against it.
We got the point, Mr. Jeffries. Everything is Jim Crow, Jim Crow. Everything is Jim Crow. One problem with that argument, we've had a black president named Obama. Another problem with that argument, what about Oprah and all these other African-American billionaires running around? But I know Jim Crow, it sounds great.